Hey everybody, welcome back to Jim's Garage. In this video, we're going to be looking at a new monitoring tool that someone in the community pointed out to me. And I can probably best describe it as a mixture between somewhere in the middle of Grafana and all the complexity, but also the detail that comes with it, and something like Uptime-Kuma. The product we're talking about here is called Checkmate. Now, Checkmate sits somewhere between those two. It's a simple single Docker file that you can get up and running just by tweaking a few variables and then hitting deploy. And it's also got a myriad of features over something simpler like Uptime-Kuma. Now, both Grafana and Uptime-Kuma are great products and they do what they say on the tin, but one's complex and probably one doesn't cover all of the aspects that you want to. Checkmate fills that gap by offering a host of probably the most common things that you're looking for. Now, there are a few caveats with that statement, and during my testing, there were a couple of features that didn't appear to be working. That was noted by the devs. It was previously working, and they say that they are confident that the next release will have a fix. So I just wanted to point that out. I will show those features, and I will show what they should look like, but at the moment, it doesn't seem like they're working, or maybe I'm just a noob and I can't set it up properly. What I also want to focus on is the roadmap that's coming up. There are some really cool features that are coming out, and as I said before, this isn't quite the finished article. This product will continue to evolve. It is fully open source. You can review all of the code on GitHub, and that's obviously a big thumbs up. So let's have a quick look at the actual details of the product. I'll show a quick demonstration of this up and running. Then we'll go through the deployment and then the configuration of the app itself. So as you can see, Checkmate has a really slick user interface. Now, to my knowledge, this isn't actually in here. We'll see down below that this is an upcoming feature where it can build into sort of the Solana network and give you a global overview of availability of servers. If we scroll down, we'll see some of the things that are actually implemented. So website monitoring does what it says on the tin. Page speed insights, which is built into sort of Google page speed API, so it can show how your page actually performs and loads. That's obviously good for some metrics. Infrastructure monitoring, that's what it says on the tin. It's things like monitor your Docker CPU usage or any virtual machine, physical machine that you want. You just need to deploy the respective agent, i.e. a container or a binary onto that machine. Ping monitoring, incident management, that's something that's quite cool. You can actually set up incidents based upon alerts. So for example, if you notice that some of your infrastructure is down, you can actually create an incident, and you can also do things like email notifications. You can actually assign email notifications for pretty much everything on here. You can do things like if the ping exceeds a certain value or there's no response for a certain time, you can send out alerts and notifications. Docker monitoring is quite cool as well, so you can actually monitor your Docker containers. That unfortunately is one of the features that is broken for me at the moment, but I'm sure that will be fixed in the next version. You can schedule maintenance windows so that you know when you're going to bring something down, so you can almost use this as a team diary. And obviously this is self-hosted. And that leads on nicely to one of the other features, that you have support for multiple users here, and also the ability to assign multiple roles. So you're not all default admins, some of you can just be viewers. If we scroll down, here are some example pictures of the application running, and I'll show this in real time in just a moment. And if we scroll down even further, we're going to get to the release map for this product. So at the moment, things like that Solana that I showed in the first picture, that's not available yet. Hopefully Q1 2025, that should be up and running soon. They're going to add some port monitoring. They're going to add further notifications, so things like Discord, Slack, and Telegram via webhooks, which will be pretty awesome, and status pages. Anyway, you can view this documentation at your leisure. I'm going to show you now this up and running, and then we're going to get into the actual deployment. So here's a version I have up and running on my server. So as always, you need to log into this. Once you've logged in, you can see here I've got some demonstrations. So the uptime, for example, I've just got a bunch of websites. These could be external or internal. What's cool is if you want to actually dive into that, you can click on it, and then you get some additional statistics, expiry certificates, those things, when it was last checked, response times, and then some handy graphs to see that over time. Page speed, unfortunately, I can't get this one to work. That is another one of those broken features. But page speed will use the Google page speed to actually show you the specifics of the user experience, the page loading time, all of those sorts of things. Looking at the official documentation, this is what it should look like. So you would see things like how often it checks and what the health of that is. So it can do things like accessibility, best practices, performance, SEO, those sorts of things, and kind of give you a score and a trend of that over time, so that if it picked out, say, potential areas you could improve, you could obviously go and change those and hopefully improve the SEO, the user experience of your web pages. For the infrastructure, I've just simply got my Docker host. This is actually the host that I'm going to be hosting this, or actually this service is running on. And you can see some handy things like CPU, memory, and disk. And actually, if you click on this, you get some further statistics. And you also get that temporal aspect where you can view it over time. It's not picking up some of the things on here because this is a virtualized machine. So things like the CPU temperature, for example, those aren't getting picked up. Incidence is blank, but this will actually pick things up. So for example, if one of these uptimes actually fails, handily these are all at 100%. But for example, if one of these times that website went down, that could be indicative of, say, Amazon going down, or maybe a blackout from my ISP, or just for whatever reason it wasn't reachable. Maintenance, you can create your own maintenance windows, so you can put in here when you're going to do it, how often it's going to occur, and obviously if you share this then with your team and the other members you've got on here, that's really helpful. Then you've got simple things like your account, so you can set profiles, you can add team members, for example, and then you've also got some different settings to tailor this to your environment. So let's now jump into VS Code, we'll get this configured, and then we should be off to the races. So handily, to get this up and running, you only need a single compose file. You could obviously make use of some environment variables if you wanted to hide some of your secrets. Now, as always, I've added this behind my traffic reverse proxy, but if you didn't want to do that, simply delete the labels, delete the network, and re-add the ports, and you should be able to access it via the IP and the port. The main things really we need to take focus off here are to set this uptime app. This is the URL that it's actually available on. So I've added this DNS entry to my DNS resolver. It also matches down here for the traffic labels to match my certificate. And then we just append the API v1 because that's where it expects the other containers within the stack to reach this website. It depends on the server, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. And I've just put it on the proxy network so the labels work, and I've also created this Checkmate network for all the containers on this stack so that they can all talk to each other on their own private network. Next up, we've got the server itself. So the first one is basically the user interface, and then the second one is a server that actually does all of the mechanics. So here we've got it running, and it depends on Redis and MongoDB. So the Redis will be that key value pair in memory, and the MongoDB is where it's actually going to store all of the variables, all of that data, so we can have that temporal reference. Now it's going to connect to the other containers on here. In this instance, it needs to connect to the database to write some stuff. It also will cache some of that in Redis first. And if you want to use page speed, you're going to need to get your page speed API key. You can comment this out if you don't want to use that feature. To get that key is pretty straightforward. If we have a look at the official documentation, you can see you just simply need to click on here for the API link. That will take you to the Google website, and it's as simple as logging in with your Google account and just clicking create key. It will simply pop up with an API key. You just want to copy that key, and then you want to head back in here and just paste it. And in theory, that should work, but at the moment, that feature isn't working. So hopefully in the future, that will work. Next up, this is optional as well for the volumes. Now, not always the best way to do this with a Docker sock. It does also support the Docker proxy if you want to go down that route. That is obviously more secure. But just for demonstrating this up and running, I have loaded the Docker sock, and that's what allows that feature to read the Docker containers. Now, unfortunately, that isn't working for me again, but I can actually show you how it should work within the demonstration in a moment. The penultimate container is this Redis. And there's nothing really here we need to discuss. This is just a way to store some of that in memory before it gets written to disk. Helps with both performance and also endurance of your hardware. Lastly, we've got MongoDB, which will give it that persistence and allow it to store that data and give you that temporal aspect of viewing data over time periods. Lastly, we've just got the networks, and there's nothing really there to talk about. So all we need to do is hop up into the terminal, and we need to deploy this sudo docker compose up-d or whatever it is you've got set up. And once that's done, you should be up and running. So deploying this container, that should be pretty quick. The first time you'll do it, you'll obviously have to pull the images. But once we've done that, make sure you go away. You need to add this record here, this URL, into whatever your DNS resolver is. Or if you're not using that, just go to the IP address of the VM and the port, and you should be able to access it in the browser. Register with our email address. You probably want to make this a real email address if you do want to set up email alerting. And then we need to create a password. Once you've done that, hit continue, and you should be into the UI. Now, the first time we do this, there's going to be nothing in there. Obviously, it's a blank installation. So how do we go about doing some easy stuff? So to create your first monitor, it's as simple as just clicking Create Monitor, adding the website that you want. Let's just pick something different for this demonstration. This will then go away and monitor Reddit. Now, we can do different things. We can use HTTPS, HTTP, we can do ping monitoring, we can do Docker container monitoring, and we can do port monitoring. So for this example, let's just do a standard website monitor, and we'll click Create Monitor just behind my face. That's now pending, and it should check every minute or so. If we wanted to create a new one, so we create new, we could do some Docker monitoring. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because when I add in here my container ID, you'll see what happens. Now, there's many ways that you can go and grab a container ID. I have Portainer up and running, so I'm simply going to use that. I can click on the container I want, and then I can just grab the ID. I can copy that. I can head back now into Checkmate, and I should be able to paste that. Now you can see here it says please enter a valid URL and optional port. I think that's obviously a bug because you would associate that with maybe website or ping or probably port, but not with a Docker container. Now hopefully that will be working in the next version. And one interesting thing is you can put some incident notifications and you can get those emails set up, and you can also change that frequency to whatever makes sense. If we now go head back to the uptime, we should see now that Reddit has had 2 checks. And if we click on that, you can see the average response time, how long it's been up, what that uptime percentage is, etc. Next up, we can do that page speed, so you can create your own first page speed. Again, I can't get this to work, even though I've added in a valid API key. But the way it works is pretty straightforward. Again, just add in here a URL, and then add in a name for it. Scroll down to the bottom, and just click Create Monitor. Infrastructure, now this is a little bit different. So to create an infrastructure monitor, there's one precursor, and that is to deploy the agent first. Now, I've done that in Docker, and you can see that here. It's actually this one here, this Pensive Blackburn. You can see here, Blue Wave Labs Capture Latest. Now, Capture is the actual name of the agent, i.e. it's capturing metrics that then sends it back to the Checkmate server, and deploying that is a piece of cake if you're using Docker. There's a simple docker run command, but you can also download the binaries for that as well. As you can see on their website, you need to click this section here, which will show you the server monitoring agents. So for example, the only thing really I did for this one was literally to copy and paste this. Do make sure that you change the secret for your capture device and make sure you'll reference that. I'll show you that in a moment. If you don't want to do that, you can obviously have the other styles, so the non-Docker ones, and there's also some pre-built binaries for common platforms. So with that deployed, all you need to do is head back now into Checkmate and you should be able to add that in. So for example, mine would look like this. I've added the IP address of my Docker server, and then I've put in the respective API and metrics, and I've put my secret here, the secret that you should not be using. Now again, you can turn on notifications, and what's pretty cool is you can put some custom alerting here. So say for example, if my CPU goes above 75%, that could be indicative of a problem. Maybe an app is taking up too much space, or maybe it's an indication that it's time to upgrade the CPU or allocate more cores to the VM. Obviously, memory, disk, temperature, those are all important, and you can tweak those as much as you want as well. You can also change that frequency, but ultimately, if we click Create It, we should see that that's now pending, and in a few moments we should get some details. Now again, incidents, that will flag up when it's showed. Maintenance, I've shown that before. And then if we have a look into the account, we can have a look at the team, and we can create a new team member. And this person, you'll put in their email address, and you can choose whether they're going to be an admin or a user. And that'll create an invite link that they can click on and get into this. So you can scale this up to a small team. That would be pretty nice. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's really straightforward. It gives you a good level of insight, and it's probably one step above Uptime-Kuma in what it can do, but it's not as fully fledged as something like Grafana, which is basically this without any of the breaks. You can do anything you want, but it's much more time consuming to actually set up. One thing that might be handy is if you want to go into the settings, you can actually click the add demo monitors. You can see that those have been added. So now you've got things like the Amazon, Apple, which I showed in the previous demonstration. So that's pretty much it. A quick and easy video about what Checkmate can offer. Looks really promising, slick interface, simple to deploy, simple to scale up, But at the moment, at least for me, there were a couple of features that were broken, but hopefully they're fixed in the next version. Really excited about what's in the roadmap. I wish the team every success. When I've spoken to some of the developers, they've been really responsive. So fingers crossed, the more people who can get involved and help out as well, that's great. It'd be good to have a simple alternative that gives some powerful metrics. Anyway, if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.